Well, Facebook friends, it's Friday, it's noontime. But unfortunately, we're in this amazing, beautiful valley, sweet waters. Well, it's actually a combination of valley and mountains. Just incredible view. But the network is not as strong as we would like it to be. So we're going to record this and then you'll get this broadcast a bit later. But enough of that. We are here at UYB, Umzanzi Youth in Business. Ladies, thank you for the opportunity to come and meet with you and to find out about this amazing work that you're doing here. My understanding is that UYB started in 2007. But maybe you can just introduce yourself to us, tell us who you are, and then Nonjabulo, you can tell us a little bit more about the history. Let's start with you and you can just greet our folk and tell them who you are.
Greetings to the Facebook page and everyone else watching. My name is Nonjabulo Kuzwayo. I work for Umzanzi Youth in Business and I work within the office of the CEO. So a while back, Umzanzi Youth in Business started off as Umzanzi Youth in Construction, Property and Manufacturing, which was dealing with those three spheres only. So I wasn't there at the time. However, the management did look into these three spheres and they questioned themselves as to why is it that we're only focusing on these three spheres when our youth is living within disadvantaged areas within all of these spheres. There's such a high unemployment rate that's focusing on all spheres of all spheres instead of just these three. So then they transformed into Umzanzi Youth in Business, which focuses on the youth at large and not
just those three sectors. Fantastic. Okay, I want to find out a little bit more about you because I know each of you hold a different portfolio. Can you tell us who you are, young lady, and then we'll go over to you, and maybe you can just tell us a little bit about yourselves as you introduce.
Okay, hi, my name is Nomvusile Mdladla and I lead the portfolio of social behavioral change, which has programs which basically focus on addressing the social ills amongst the community. And most of the programs we have focus on different levels. They interact with the community, interpersonal as well as the personal level.
Wow, okay. That's really powerful. It just shows how well balanced this organization is. You are encompassing everything, even the character and nature of people, which is, I mean, you can have great skills, but if you don't have solid character, then how will you be able to be a blessing to society? And you want to tell us what you do. First your name and then what you do.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Sinudile Zuma and I hold the portfolio of heading the Youth Empowerment Unit, where we aim essentially to empower the youth in terms of getting them into a space where they are able to get jobs and also employ themselves. We are skilling the youth, we are empowering them, we are helping them find their voice within the community. We want to encourage them to love our country and what it stands for, and we just want their participation in the economy, in all spheres of government and in all spheres of their living.
Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. You know why? What you're talking about is what our church lives for. And this is the infrastructure to do it. Because you can have a powerful vision, but if you don't have the infrastructure to actually empower people, upskill them, and then, like you say, not just giving people skills, because there's a lot of people walking the streets with amazing skills, but still not earning an income, and making them become entrepreneurs or employable or self-employed is powerful. Tell us a little bit about what you do here, and or maybe some of the wonderful things this place has done over the years.
So as my colleagues have said, Umzanzi Youth in Business is an organization that deals with the community in two folds. So we have the social behavioral change program, and then we have the youth development unit. So this twofold comes in a way that it's so strategic that we assist in firstly finding the social ills within each community. So we work within Umgundlovu district as a whole. So the different 7 municipalities. So within our social behavioral change program, we have a unit that's called Community Capacity Enhancement. So what that does is it goes into the different communities of the district, and then it identifies what that community has, what the community doesn't have, what are the skill sets that those people have.
So research is a strong component.
It's a very strong component, like what is the youth interested in? And then based off of those findings, we then we deal with those social ills. So maybe we find that HIV is very prominent there.
Right.
Maybe substance abuse is very prominent there.
Right.
As behind us you can see there's a Kimoja I am fine without drugs banner.
Right.
That program is focused solely on substance abuse and providing alternatives to leisure for the youth.
Absolutely.
So what happens is we find that the youth, they play a lot of sports. They play soccer and netball.
Yes.
So we form different soccer and netball clubs that are instilled within the principle of, if you want to be a part of the Kimoja tournament,
these are the values.
These are the values that you need to embrace.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then with that being identified, with those social ills being identified, we as Umzanzi in business have seen that we might empower the youth, we might give them the skill sets that they need, we might teach them how to be valuable entrepreneurs and make money and make an income.
Yeah.
However, if they're still living in areas where they're prone to these social ills, they
that
will
money
then
will be
use
used for
their
that
income
purpose.
for that.
Yeah.
Yes, so let's deal with the social ills and empower our youth.
Wow, that's
Yes.
fantastic. You want to add a little bit, just maybe tell us some stories about young people you'll have worked with, or some of the successes you'll have had, or just tell us some of the good things.
Okay, some of the programs that we deal with in the personal level of social behavioral change include Chomi, which means friend, and YOLO, which means you only live once. Chomi focuses on the youth that is between the ages of 10 and 14, where we go into schools and we interact with the youth and we help build their self-esteem and their confidence so that when they grow up, they're not susceptible to being influenced by other people.
Right.
So when we work with those children, we sometimes find that we go in with an intent to build their self-esteem, and then we find that they're having issues from home which affect their self-esteem. So that's how our programs interlink. And then if there's a problem at home, we have to bring in the Families Matter program, which interacts with the interpersonal level.
Yes.
So Families Matter goes into the family dynamics and it addresses all the issues that they have. And so once we've addressed all those issues, there's also a group where we start clubs within the schools. And once you're in that club, once you learn more about the club and then you participate in the club, we want to ensure that you don't just focus on the club while you're in the school. So when you exit the school, you want to pursue a career in that club. You go under youth empowerment, which facilitates those clubs.
So that's what links everything together.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a focus on behavior, and there's a focus on careers, or some form of skills development, but it's all connected to not only here or in the school context, but also in the home environment and in the marketplace. You want to tell us a bit more about some of the things that
we've had quite some success stories in terms of running our one home one garden within the community.
Okay, so what does it mean, one home one garden?
We had a partnership with One Academy that provided us with plant production training, where we identified and profiled 10 families to encourage them to have self-reliance and be able to produce their own food during this time of the COVID pandemic.
Wow.
So we've had a success run with them, and people have been able to get accredited training and also provide for their families.
That could even start somebody into the arena of agriculture as a career. So not only just gardening for your own sustenance, but taking it beyond into a fully fledged career. If there's somebody out there today that you want to challenge them to make an investment in this organization, I know you get some funding, but we can never have enough funding. There's always more funding. What would you say to the people? You've got about a minute to share some just talk to people and say, what are some of your needs? Let's put it that way.
I won't go into the monetary needs. Those will never come to, I don't know the word to use, but more than anything, we are in a youth development center that used to be a school. We really want to revamp it so that our beneficiaries who come here receive high-end service. They receive the best of the best. What we want to give them is 5-star quality. So if someone could assist us with the revamping of our organization, we also have a program known as YOLO, as she had specified, where every month we give our beneficiaries a hygiene pack, which includes things to bath, so soap, a bath towel, moisturizer, roll-on, sanitary pads, toothbrush, toothpaste. So if they could help us with donating those packs to us, we would be more than grateful. Yes.
That's awesome. Obviously, revamping the place, the need for painting, the need for maintenance work and other stuff, and also with your program. Is there anything, I mean, like, what about companies? Because sometimes you've got these youth, they're empowered, but you don't have a place where you can plug them in.
Yes, definitely. We would like to call on the corporate sector, the government sector, to support us in supporting these youth that are going out of their way to get involved. So let's help them by also coming in and giving them places where they can actually nurture their skills and grow their talent.
Fantastic. Closing remarks from you before we close.
I think we're just very grateful that you came and you're giving us this opportunity, and I hope that people who are watching see and find an interest to come and invest in Umzanzi Youth and Business, because we are trying very hard to empower our youth and give them strength, and we need all the assistance we can get.
Well, you've won me over to this interview. Well, Facebook friends, thank you very much. As I said, this did not go live today because this area out in Sweetwaters, just around the corner, is an amazing tower that feeds a major section, but in section where we were, the signal's not strong enough, and we wanted to produce a much more quality broadcast. So thank you, ladies, and for adequately. I must talk to your boss. Tell him that you've represented. You were excellent.
Thank you.
God bless you and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye. See you next week, Friday, Facebook friends.